is DV360 tutorial. In this series, we take you through from the basic to the expert level in terms of how to create, optimize, and report on campaigns in DV360 and how to use different functionalities in DV360. If you haven't watched the videos before this video, I would recommend to watch the playlist from video 1 as the videos are arranged in order and are interlinked. I will put the link for the playlist in the description below. Now that until the previous video we are done with creating pixels as well as uploading the creatives, we will directly go ahead to the last step of how to create campaigns and create a new line item. Create a new line item, what we do is we log into the DV360, we click on the advertiser, which in our case is the hypothetical real estate client, and the name of this account we have chosen as test advertiser, do not use. So what we do is we click on the campaign we created in the previous videos. Once you click on the campaign, it will show you all the insertion orders in this campaign, which is lead generation March 2021, which we created in previous videos. Now to add a line item in this insertion order, we go here and click on the new button. Once you click on the new button, it will ask you if you want to create another insertion order or a new line item. So we will select line item here. Once you click on line item, it will ask you what kind of line item and which insertion order do you want to create in. So we will select March lead generation, which is the already existing line insertion order which we created in the previous videos. If you see, there are multiple types of line items we can create in DV360 as discussed in the previous videos. Some of them are display, video, audio, YouTube, mobile app install, Gmail, and ads in mobile apps. Now in our case, we'll go ahead and we'll create a display line item. Once you click on the display type, it will ask you the name for line item. Now before we create a line item, I want to take you through what type of line items to create in DV360. Now honestly, among all the 8 videos, this is the most important video, and this creating line item will determine how successful your campaign will be. Now whenever you create a campaign and the line items in it, there is a strategy behind it. I will take you through what a strategy which I personally use and has been successful no matter what type of client, but you can always add things and based on your strategy and what you want to achieve. Now if you look here, now whenever we create a line item, I usually in an insertion order, I create 4 different line items. So we use our targeting strategy like this. This you can use and it has always worked for me. So in my insertion orders, we usually always create 4 different line items with 4 different targeting strategies. The first one here is audience, where we target Google and third-party audiences. Now as you know that in all Google platforms, they provide free audiences like in market and real estate, people who are interested in a particular industry or a particular product. So we can leverage those in this line item, which will be audience line item. And in DV360, there is a lot of DMPs connected with like Oracle Bluekai, Lotami, which are companies which provide the third-party audience data which you can use. And then the second line item we will create will be contextual, which means that the line item will serve on websites and apps which are contextually relevant to the product. For example, in our case, we want to sell villas, houses, and apartments. So we will show our ads on websites which talk about how to buy apartments, with reviews about apartments and houses, where how to get loan for apartments. So probably the people who are going to these websites, they are in market because they are researching for how to buy a house and apartment. So it's a very good strategy as well. So that will be the second line item. The third line item will be custom audiences. It's a very powerful tool where you can create in Google platforms, you can create audiences based on what they searched on Google and what kind of websites they visited. For example, in our case, we will create a custom audiences based on people who have been searching for buy a house, buy a villa, and keywords like this. And also I will go to Google, I will search for buy a house, and all the advertisers who are bidding on Google, I will go to their landing pages and I will copy those in the URLs and create custom audiences based on visitors of those, which means people who were searching on Google and they went to inquire on our competitors' websites. So it's a very powerful tool. I have created a dedicated video for custom audiences, for which I will put the link in the description below. The fourth line item we'll be creating will be remarketing and lookalike, where we will retarget people who already clicked on our ads, went to our website. We will retarget those. And also you can, while creating the remarketing audiences, you can expand it and ask Google to find people like them, which is called lookalike audiences. So these are the 4 types of line items I'll be creating in this particular insertion order for this client. And this strategy you can use across any client you want, and you can always make changes. Now that we know that what 4 types of line items we'll create in this insertion order, and we will divide the budget equally in the beginning and later see which one is generating us more leads, and accordingly we can adjust the budgets. So I go ahead, I click to create the first line item, I click on display, and I will name this contextual line item. Like other entities, we can make it active or keep it in draft. One thing to observe here is all the settings in terms of viewability, in terms of what categories our insertion order can serve, they all are inherited, which we selected on campaign and insertion order level. They all are automatically inherited here. For example, if you remember, in the campaign we selected that all the line items in this campaign should only serve on these categories, which are real estate, law and government, news and finance. So it's already inherited, so no need to update those again. You see it will show you that there is 7.4 billion impressions that can be served in the next 30 days. And I'll go here to create the contextual line item. What I'll do is I will only update the categories. Now these were selected on the campaign level, but I will clear them all because this is a contextual line item and it has to only serve on the relevant pages. Now if you see, there are multiple categories available in DV360 which you can target and select, and you can browse through each of them like this. Or even if you see, for example, finance, there are subcategories. And if you are not aware or you don't want to browse through all of them, you can also search. For example, in our case, we will search real estate. Now there is a category which is finance, under which there's investing and there's real estate investment trusts. So I'll select this, and real estate law probably, but it will be a bit wider for people who are even researching about real estate law. And then real estate development, so property development, real estate listings. Okay, so I'll select the whole category of real estate listings. So people who go to these websites with real estate listings, probably they are in market for real estate investments or to buy real estate. Now the other subcategory is real estate services, which has property management, property inspections and appraisals, total real estate agencies. Probably this will be relevant as well. So for now, what we selected is real estate agencies, real estate listings and real estate investment trusts. So our ads will appear on all the websites and apps which are related to these 3 topics, which means people who go to these types of websites and apps, because if a user goes to real estate listing website, which means they are in market. So you have to identify such categories. For the sake of example, I quickly showed you these 3. So you have to go through and search for all the prospect categories of websites and apps where you think the users might go. So in the targeting section, that's all what we will change, because rest we have selected campaign and insertion order level, which will be applied to all line items. In this contextual line item, that's all we will change. Then we go to dates, as I told you before. So you can use the same dates as the campaign and insertion order dates, or you can change it. Maybe you want this line item to serve only in a specific period of this insertion order, but in our case we'll use the same dates as the insertion order from start to the end. The next section comes budget and pacing. So automatically adjust the budget. So how it will work is if the other line item is generating more leads at a lower CPL, the more budget will be spent there. So it's recommended because we have an objective to generate more leads, so we will select this option. Otherwise, you can have a fixed budget as well. For example, if we have $1,000 for this insertion order and we are making 4 different line items, you can say, okay, remarketing will be 10%, rest of the 3 will be 30% each. Budget, you can hard code the budget, but in our case we'll select automatically adjust the budget. Bid strategy will be maximize viewable impressions. In our case we'll select maximize conversions, and you can select fixed bid here. For example, if you want to set a particular bid, but we are just starting the campaign, so we will let the system run and we will observe what is the cost per lead, and then we can adjust or cap it accordingly. Frequency cap, the next setting, we will leave it as unlimited up to higher level frequency cap, because if you remember we have selected 7 per week at the campaign level, so we will not change it for this particular line item, but overall it will work for from this campaign. No matter which line item, there can be 7 ads shown to the same user in a week, so we will not change frequency cap as well. Now the thing you have to understand here is all the settings in each line item you think will be followed throughout all line items. You set up that on campaign level and insertion order, and it makes your job easy, so you don't have to change in each line item, you don't have to change everything. So then we come to the creatives section when it comes to assign. So for example, when I click on assign, it will show all the 3 creatives which we uploaded in the previous videos. If you see, we uploaded tag creative, HTML banner and image. Now if you scroll on the right hand side, it will show you that the status. So for example, HTML banner and image have been is servable, but this one has been rejected by ad manager. I don't know why, we'll have to check that status, that's a separate discussion, but I can go ahead and select. As far as the creative is not rejected by all the 3, you can still select it, but this creative will only serve on, for example, Google Ad Manager has rejected it, it will still serve on these 2 ad exchanges. So I will select all these 3. Now for example, as an advertiser, if you have multiple creatives here, so you go ahead and you select which of the creatives you want to be associated with this line item. In our case, it will be all 3. I click on apply, so we added the creatives to the line item. Then it comes to conversion tracking, that where you will actually select the pixel, that what is the conversion for this. So if you remember in the last video, we created the form completion, which is conversion for us. So we'll go here, it will automatically populate all the tags, floodlight tags or conversion pixels you will create in this advertiser account. They will all appear here, so we will select this one because we only have one. And then you have an option that post click window, what do you want to set it as, which means that if I set it to 90 days, if a user clicks on any of the ad from this line item, and if he fills the form up to the coming 90 days, it will still be attributed as a conversion from this line item. Let's say for example, if I select 1 here, now if somebody clicks on my ad from this line item and within 1 day they fill up the lead form, it will be counted as a conversion for this. How post view window works is, if somebody just sees your ad from this line item and then fills the form, later comes to the website through other source, it will be still attributed to this line item, the conversion. Now usually you can set it to 0 because you don't want to attribute a conversion to this line item only when the user saw the ad, they never clicked. But some people set it up to 30 days and later in the reports they check how many were post view conversions and how many were post click conversions. So usually just set it to 7 and 30. Now the second option in this section is count all conversions, or you can say count only post click conversions or post percentage of the conversion. So in here, because we already set it to this setting, so you can select count all conversions. Please select attribution model to use conversion measurement. So here you can select primary or floodlight attribution. Floodlight attribution model will be what you have selected in DCM or any rules you have set up here. So we have not set up, so we'll use primary model. That's it. So we are done with the contextual line item, which means we created a line item and then we only added targeting in terms of context. Only this line item should serve on these kind of websites which are related to real estate and the 4 categories we selected, and we are done. We click on create. So this is the first line item in our insertion order here, if you see. which is contextual. Okay, now we go ahead and we will create the second line item, which is audiences, Google audiences and third-party audiences. It's the same way. We go ahead and create new line item. We select that it's a display type. Okay, we will name it as audience, and the only thing we will change here in the targeting section, we will add the audience. Once you go ahead in audience section, you can club together multiple type of audiences. In our case, we'll club together Google audiences and third-party audiences. Now in this case, we will first select third-party audiences. We'll go to this first and third-party audience section and click on add. Here from the drop down, we will select third-party audiences and we will search for, let's say, real estate. See a lot of third-party audience segments here. For example, the first one is real estate and building maintenance, which says real estate and building maintenance, the career. So you have to look at the keywords. Now this audience segment is provided by Excelate. Excelate is a data provider. They all are plugged to DV360. So Lotame, Oracle BlueKai, Excelate, DigiLogix, all of them. So now these are the people who have career in real estate. Not probably, we don't want to target people who are working in real estate, but we will target, for example, here properties, Oracle BlueKai in market, and people in market for real estate, home and commercial. Yes, this is our target audience. Similarly, we will find, for example, Excelate interest in general interest in real estate. That means people who have general interest, they keep checking real estate prices or they go to the websites of such types. So we'll select this. So that's the basic concept is you will search with certain keywords and you will find the relevant audience segments in the list and you will keep adding them. For example, I tick mark here, I select this one and click on apply. So what it does is you will see all the list you are targeting here in here. Now this was from the third-party audience providers. Once you are done with selecting all the relevant audience segments, then you go to Google audiences. In Google audiences, you select affinity. In our case, we will not target affinity. Affinity will be people who are inclined towards. For example, if I watch a lot of football videos, I have affinity towards football. But if I'm searching on Google about football or football gear, that means I'm in market for football. So we'll go to people in market for real estate. Now I select in market from here and I will see if I have something related to real estate. Yes, so for example, these are all free audiences. These are Google audiences, so they are free to use. However, the third-party audiences we selected in the previous step, they are all chargeable somewhere between $0.5 CPM and $1.5 CPM. So I will select here, for example, people in market and real estate, residential properties for rent. We are not looking for people who are looking for properties for rent, so I'll not include this. Residential properties for sale, yes. Commercial properties for sale, yes. Big houses for rent, no. New apartments for sale, houses for sale. So yes, residential properties, and these are the segments I will select from Google audiences which are free. So I'll apply. So now we have created this audience list, which is a mix of third-party audiences here which are paid and Google audiences which are free. It will show you how much audience is included in this segment. Now if you think based on, for example, included audience here is 14.7 million, based on your media plan and the budget, it's too much. You can go ahead and trim it and exclude some of the segments which you think are not very relevant. And it will also tell you based on the audiences we have selected, there's 69% male and female 31%. These are the age groups. It just gives you an idea about the audiences you selected. Who are they, what kind of devices they use. Mobile is 65%, which is this audience you selected here. Where can you find them, and where can DV360 reach to them on which devices in terms of percentages. And I go here, same way, we assign the creatives again, all of them, click on apply. Conversion, we'll use again the same one and leave these settings as they are. Post view is 7 days and post click is 30 days. and that's it. So I click on create and I'm done with the audience line item. Okay, so we are done with the 2 line items. The third line item we are about to create is custom audiences. Let's quickly go. We click on new again, we click on line item, we select display. Now this is the third line item, which is custom audiences. Now custom audiences, how I'll do is, the only thing I'll change is I'll create and target custom audiences. So I go here, I go to audience lists. If you see here, it will show you custom lists. Now in our case, we will select custom intent. Now we will name it people who are interested in real estate, and the description would be search keywords related to real estate and competitor URLs visited. Description is optional, but you can add it for later reference if you want, if you are wondering why this particular audience was created. Now in our case, people who are looking for real estate, they search for house for sale, villa for sale, and like this you will add all the keywords you think that your prospect audiences who will be interested in buying an apartment on your website, or like leaving an inquiry, all the keywords they might search on Google. You have to come up predict with that. It's usually, you should, if there's a search campaign running for this advertiser, you should add the keywords from that search campaign. In terms of URLs, I'll show you how to do it. For example, I go to google.com. Now I search for let's say apartments for sale. Now if you see, there are a lot of advertisers bidding on these keywords. There might be people who searched for these keywords and they clicked on these URLs or the landing pages of these competitors, which means the people who clicked on these ads and went to their websites, they are interested in buying properties, which is our audience as well. So what I'll do here is, after searching for all these keywords like apartments for sale, villas for sale, I will see who are the competitors bidding on these keywords, and I will go to each one of them and copy their relevant URLs and put it on my custom audience list URLs here. For example, in this case, it's bayut.com. I'll go here and add Bayut. Similarly, I will go to Google back and forth and collect all the competitor URLs and put it here. How it will work is, people who searched for these keywords and who went to these competitor websites, these people will be targeted in these line item because of this custom segment we created based on these parameters. And I click on create, and you see once I create, it will sort automatically in the targeting section here, the one we created, because people who are interested in real estate. Same thing for the dates, we will not change anything, even the budget and pacing, just the flight, and we'll make it ahead so that it serves a little bit more in the beginning. We'll change the targeting sections to maximize conversions, and that's all. Same way we'll upload the creatives here, and then conversion pixel, we'll select this one and click on create, and maybe we change this to 7 and 30 and click on create, and we are done with the 3 line items. The only line item pending now is the remarketing or retargeting line item. See, we have already created 3. For remarketing or retargeting, it's simple. We click on line item again here, we click on display. The only thing that will be changed is retargeting. The only thing that will be changed is we will add audience setting here, but in this case, for remarketing campaigns, you again select first and third party, because the data collected by the pixel is considered to be first party. So we go to first party setting here. Usually your pixel will appear here, because it says no audience available because the pixel we created is not implemented on any landing page. If it was implemented, it will appear here something like all visitors and the name of the pixel. So in that case, what you do is you select that one here, you click on apply, and that's all. Your remarketing campaign is done. It will only be targeted to people who have visited our website or wherever our pixel has been placed. So that's it. You click on apply and your remarketing line item is done. You select all creatives here, you select the submission, you go 7 days and 30 days again. It's all repetitive, so I'll we'll go to ahead and we'll go to maximize conversions, and that's all. So you click on create and all your line items are created. That's all about how to create line items. Now these line items will start serving and will probably generate a lot of conversions. By now you guys are good to create campaigns from start to end and in the most efficient way. The new videos in this series will be about how to report, how to optimize, and the other functionalities of DV360.